Welcome to the bottom of the rabbit hole. Salute to all the Matrix University subscribers checking in. You are appreciated. In this video, we're going to talk about the subtle, but not so subtle Matrix 4 logo swap, and Matrix Trilogy actress Gina Torres also shared her thoughts on the upcoming sequel installment. So if this is your first time down here or you want to know everything about the Matrix media, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on any future updates. Over the weekend, HBO Max posted another 2021 movie release teaser to their Twitter account, and many people have noticed that there was a slight change in the Matrix logo they used this time around. In the original HBO Max streaming release announcement, the logo said The Matrix 4, but in this last teaser, the logo just says Matrix. I did also notice that Dune and Godzilla vs. King Kong were both still listed in this most recent promotion as being scheduled for release in both theaters and on HBO Max. In a previous video, I mentioned that Legendary Pictures was publicly fighting against the idea of Dune and Godzilla vs. King Kong having a hybrid streaming and theatrical release. So I can't help but wonder if this recent teaser was implying that Warner and Legendary Pictures reached some sort of compromise on the issue. Before I get into my thoughts on the logo confusion, I want to quickly explain who Gina Torres is because she recently made a statement during the Variety Big Ticket podcast that I think is relevant to what could be going on with the changing Matrix logo situation. Gina Torres played the character Cass in The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions. In Reloaded, we find out that Cass was the Zion-born widow of former Nebuchadnezzar pilot Dozer. They had 2 young children, and Cass was also the sister-in-law of Z, who was married to Tank and Dozer's replacement operator/pilot Link. At the time those Matrix sequels were in production, in real life, Gina Torres was still married to Lawrence Fishburne, who played Morpheus. Gina Torres also voiced the character of Niobe for The Matrix Online. Here's what she had to say when asked about The Matrix 4.
I did want to ask you, obviously you have a history with Matrix. Could you believe there's another Matrix coming?
I thought they, first of all, not to be bitter or anything, but the people that are actually in the movie, I believe, died. And the people that aren't, didn't. So that's all I have to say about that.
Did you ever think, though, you'd see a Matrix 4 movie?
No, I mean, I really did. I'm so curious about where they're going with this and what's their jumping off point and what story they wanted to tell, quite frankly. Because it just felt like they told it. I mean, am I wrong about that?
Do you remember reading the scripts? Did you understand what was going on when you read the scripts?
You know, the Matrix scripts were really the beginning of creatives and writers not wanting to let anybody know what's going on. So although Keanu and Lawrence and Carrie Ann, got full scripts, and people who were throughout the movie I got scenes.
Got it.
And like little bits and pieces. So, I'm not in the first one. So I just remember Lawrence telling me about it and thinking, that's great. Yeah, sure. Good luck with that. And then I went to Sydney. I went to visit him on set in Sydney, and they had just cut together. I remember the Wachowskis had a dinner party because they wanted to show the cast what they had cut together. And what they had cut together was the rescue sequence, the beginning of the rescue sequence, and the very beginning. So it was Carrie Ann, right? It was Hugo, basically telling his men they're already dead.
Right.
Cut to Carrie Ann kicking major butt, and then that whole that bank sequence scene where they go to rescue Morpheus, and the first time you see bullet time. And the first time you see, and I'm sitting there and I didn't even know my mouth was open. Like I had no idea how far down my jaw had dropped, and that I don't think I had actually taken a breath for like 3 minutes. And I was like, oh, that's what y'all are doing all the way down here in Sydney. I don't think any of them could have possibly imagined.
I thought it was worth noting that she mentioned how the main characters who died in the original trilogy are returning for The Matrix 4. And because Gina Torres did the voiceover for Niobe in The Matrix Online, she should also be aware that Morpheus dies as well, but I think it is more likely she is referring to the fact that Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss were brought back for this new film installment, but Lawrence Fishburne was not. Even though Gina hasn't read the Matrix 4 script, she brought up a very valid point that the Matrix franchise was one of the pioneers with movie projects being super secretive and doing everything possible to avoid leaks. The cloak and dagger moves date back to the original trilogy sequels, so The Matrix 4 should be no different. The Matrix 4 production started with the working title Project Ice Cream in an attempt to hide shooting locations, and the actors involved have consistently spoken about non-disclosure agreements. That said, the actors were allowed to refer to the film in interviews as The Matrix 4. Yes, the plain Matrix logo was shared by HBO Max in a teaser, but there have been no official statements made about the title of the film. Calling the difference between these logos a rebrand or viewing it as any sort of official statement would be jumping to conclusions. Personally, I think the logos we've seen so far are placeholders until the green light is given to roll out the official trailer and promotional artwork. Perhaps the Reloaded, Revolutions, R-word trend will be something left exclusively to the original trilogy. Maybe it will be called The Matrix 4, as many of the actors have been saying already. And sure, it is possible that it'll simply be called Matrix, as shown in this latest image. But either way, we're talking about it right now, and I believe that was the real reason for the change. Just more fuel for the hype train. You can let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to sign up for the Project Matriculated Premiere Party event. Support the channel by ordering your Matrix University merch at our Teespring shop. And remember, as one realizes that one is a dream figure in another person's dream, that is self-awareness.